Linn-Mar friends, this is Mrs. Moore from Lynn Grove again, and today to help us out on some of our activities, I invited two of my own daughters to help us out. This is my daughter Josie.
Hi.
And she is in 9th grade at Linn-Mar High School, and this is my daughter Gracie.
Hi.
And she's in 5th grade at Boulder Peak. So they might be helping out on some of our activities today. I wanted you to get to see the faces behind the voices that you might hear in the background. All right, let's get started.
Boys and girls, the month of November, I think, is a great time to sing patriotic songs. When something is patriotic, it means it shows love for a country. And something can be patriotic for any country. But since we live in the United States of America, I'm talking about American patriotic songs. And one of the very, very first patriotic songs for our country was Yankee Doodle. Some of you may already know this song. I'm gonna read this story to you. This is our song Yankee Doodle, and it is illustrated, the pictures are by Patty Goodnow. And the first time I'm just gonna read it to you and then maybe explain some of these old-fashioned words and sayings and tell you what they mean as we go. So here is Yankee Doodle. This song was first sung during the Revolutionary War for our country. And the Revolutionary War is the country, where America fought for freedom from England, sometimes we call it Britain, to become its own country. It says, Yankee Doodle went to town. So when this song was first sung, it happened during a time where there weren't any cars. And if you wanted to travel, like if you were in the country, like in this picture, and you wanted to go to town, you would have to go for a very long walk, or you could ride a horse. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. He's still going because he's got to go all the way to town. He stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. And back in those olden days, during that time, if somebody said something was macaroni, it meant that they thought it looked really cool, that it looked like it was in fashion. So he put a feather in his hat, and he thought that that looked pretty cool. Yankee Doodle, keep it up. He's still going to town, isn't he? Yankee Doodle dandy. If you've ever heard anybody call something dandy, it means it's good. It means it's fine. It means it's nice. He does look pretty fancy dressed up. Mind the music and the step. And they're saying, listen to the music and dance. And with the girls be handy. Means you're going to be able to dance with the girls and they're going to like that if you listen to the music and you start dancing. All right, now I'm going to go back through and I'm going to sing it very slowly to you. We'll look at it one more time while I sing it to you slowly. Yankee Doodle went to town, riding on a pony. Stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up. Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. All right. I'm going to try that whole song without showing you the words. Please join in with me. Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. All right, I'm going to try the whole thing together. Are we ready? Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Okay, now that we know our song Yankee Doodle, Josie and Gracie and I are going to show you a couple of stick routines that you can do with this song. We are each holding just a wooden rhythm stick from school. Okay, I don't know how many of you most of you probably don't just have random little smooth wooden sticks laying around. So the first thing you need to do is go find something similar to this. It can be a long piece of wood. You could go outside and get a stick about this size, or something plastic. Maybe you could try to find maybe if you have like a metal straw in your kitchen, or if you have like maybe you could try it with a wooden spoon. I've never done that before, but it probably would work with a wooden spoon. So try to find something similar to this, and pause the video and then come right back. All right, so first thing that we're gonna do is we want you to hold your stick in your right hand. Awesome. All right, now we're gonna take our stick and we're gonna tap it 4 times on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you notice when we do that, we're not doing it in the middle of our bodies. We're tapping it right here kind of in front. See how this is the knee on the same side of my body that I'm holding my stick? So it's my right knee. I'm tapping it right in front of that knee. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to do that again because Gracie was using both hands and not tapping in front of her right knee. So let's try that again. One hand right there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Now you're going to take your empty hand and you're going to tap it 4 times with a smile. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put those 2 parts together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now let's try adding the sticks to the beginning of the song. So we're going to sing the words at the beginning while we play the stick. If you just want to do the stick part while we sing for you the first time, that's fine. You pick. Here we go. Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding on a pony. Stop right there. Good. All right, we're going to do it one more time. And if you didn't sing before, please join us now. Here we go. Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding on a pony. Awesome. Okay, taking the same stick in your right hand. On the word stuck, now you're going to take your stick again in front of your knee, and it's kind of like it's a magic wand, and you're putting it in to like stir your potion, but you can go stuck on the floor, right on that word. So stuck, do that together. Stuck, good job. So then we're gonna sing stuck a feather, and on the word in, you're gonna stay holding that part of the stick, but you're gonna lean over a little bit and put your hand and the other side of the stick down on the word in, okay? So it'll look like this. Stuck a feather in his hat. Try it one more time. Stuck a feather in his hat. Good, okay, let's go back to the beginning and see if we can go that far. Ready, go. Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding
Good. All right. Now on Called It Macaroni, we're going to tap in front of our body 3 times. So I'm going to reach across kind of in front of my other knee, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Try that with me. 1, 2, 3. And then on 4, you're going to hold it up like this. So let's try that together. 1, 2, 3, up. Good job. All right. So let's start it. Stuck a feather in his hat, and we'll start right there, and then we'll go to the end. Ready? So we're going to go. Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Try that again. Stuck a feather. Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Awesome. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Here we go. Here we go. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yay! Okay, now, the way that I like to do it in class, usually with my 3rd graders, is I kind of like, we usually like to sit in a line or a circle and turn this into a stick passing game. Now this year, we can't do that at school because we're trying to keep our germs to ourselves, and so we're not doing a lot of passing of objects. But if you're at home learning and you can find more than one stick, you can maybe try some passing, teach this to a family member and try some passing. So we're gonna kind of show you how that goes. Since we're not sitting in a circle, Josie actually has a basket of more sticks right next to her. And on the part where we're supposed to grab somebody else's stick, she's actually just gonna grab a stick out of the basket. And Gracie, since she doesn't have anybody sitting next to her, she's just gonna drop her stick to the side. But if we had a group of people sitting in a circle, they would just keep passing and passing and passing. So this is just a little change that we can do, okay? So it starts the same at the beginning. Let's start something, and then let's freeze on called and show them what we do. All right, the beginning starts the same. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. Stuck a feather in his hat and called. Your sticks should be frozen right there. Don't lift them up. And then you grab the stick next to you, and you just hold on to the top of that stick. And you notice Josie's over there grabbing onto a stick, getting ready. Okay, release the new stick. Release the new stick. Keep your old stick, and let's do that for again. Grab, and we're gonna grab on called and freeze again. But you can join us this time. Here we go. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. Stuck a feather in his hat and called. Okay, now it's gonna go like this. Called it, and then on Mac, you're gonna let go of your old stick. So you should drop yours. You hold on to your new stick and drop your stick. Called it. So your hand, you let go. It macaroni. And now you have a new stick. Okay? Let's try that again. We're gonna freeze on called and walk through that again. Let's just start at stuck a feather this time instead of going all the way back to the beginning. Okay? Here we go. Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Do that one more time. Ready? Stuck a feather? Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. All right, all the way back to the beginning. Here we go. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Awesome! And then you can rewatch this video as many times as it takes to help you learn that or show somebody else so you could do it together. And that would be fun. Awesome, and that's our Yankee Doodle stick routine.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. 3rd and 4th graders, we are now going to make rhythm cards for a game we're going to play, Notes and Rests Headbands. Here is a chart that I have given you as an attachment
You can either open it and look at it, or you could even print it off if you have access to a printer, or you can just pause your video and look at it here when you need to. So these right now are all of the notes and rests that my 3rd and 4th graders are working on. This is review for 4th grade. And for 3rd grade, a lot of it is new information. So here is a list of the notes that we are working on. And notes represent sound. And this is a list of the rests we are working on. Rests represent silence. We have a whole note and a whole rest. Whole note, whole rest, and they each last for 4 beats. The note is 4 beats of sound. The rest is 4 beats of silence. Here we have a dotted half note. Dotted half note, it lasts for 3 beats. Here we have a half note and a half rest. Half note, half rest. They both last for 2 beats. Down here, we have quarter, a quarter note and a quarter rest. And they each last for 1 beat. This is called an 8th note. You're probably used to seeing them together in an 8th note pair, a tati or a titi. Here, this is what happens when we just have one of them. And then this is an 8th rest. 8th note, 8th rest. They each only last half of a beat. So today what we're going to be working on are the notes and rests, their names, and how long they last. We're going to play a game in a minute, and we're going to use, for the game, you're going to need a friend or a family member to help you. This is a game that I thought would be fun for you to do with somebody at home. And if your somebody at home doesn't know the names of their notes and rests to help, or how long they last, to help you answer your questions in the game and help you play the game, then they can look at this chart with you also. Okay, some fun ideas that I use in this game just to help me answer some questions or help me to remember the names of the symbols. Sometimes when my students ask me if they're playing a game and it has one of these symbols in it and they can't remember which one of them is what the name of something is, they might say to me, which one's the whole note or which one is the 8th rest, and I'll say, does it look like a hole? Because if it looks like a hole, that would be the whole note. Does it look like an upside down hat? Or does it look like a right side up hat? Does it look like lightning? Does it kind of look like a 7? Does it have a stem? Is the note head filled in? Because sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. Does it have a dot? Does it have a flag? So these are some of the characteristics of these symbols that help us identify them and that might help you in the game that we're going to be doing. Also, I have attached for you cards, or picture cards for our game of these notes that we're working on and these rests that we're working on. If you have access to a printer, you can print these off for the game. And then the first thing that you want to do is to cut them out. See here, I already went ahead and I cut some of these out for us. Okay? If you do not have access to a printer at home, you can make your own. So here's an example. So I just went ahead and I drew out the symbols here. This is an example of, I just took a piece of paper, or this is actually cardstock, but you could use any old paper, and I drew out all of these notes and rests that were on this chart, or the ones that you can see on the document of the cards and rests. Just redraw them out, and I just draw them out right here. These are a little bit longer, I can tell, and I would just kind of trim them so they're the same size for our game that we're going to do. Okay, then you want to cut your cards out, either if they're homemade or the ones off that I gave you. And then this one on my card stock, so it looks like somebody spilled paint on the back of that. On this card stock, I can't really see the symbol through it, but I know that on the paper, I'm gonna move this to this side. On the paper that I used, I can totally see through that, and that is not going to work for the game that we're gonna do. So what I'm just gonna do simply is I'm just gonna take another piece of paper, and I took a piece of construction paper, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna glue these on here really quickly. I'm gonna put these on here and I'm gonna glue them. It says this way up, okay. And I'll just do a couple of them for an example. I'm gonna glue these on here. I have right here, I just have some glue, and I'm just gonna put them on here, and then I'm gonna cut them out again, and then I won't be able to see through the card. Like I said, if you have cardstock and you print it off with cardstock to start, you probably won't be able to see through it. I guess it just depends, you'll have to check. Okay? All right, so now I'm gonna quick cut out those cards. Okay, so I went ahead and I glued the cards to this construction paper, and then I went ahead and cut them out, and now you can see you cannot see through the cards. Now, one more really important step. In the game that we're gonna be playing, sorry, my dog and my cat are playing. You might hear them barking and growling at each other in the background. I promise you they're not fighting, they're just playing. So, it's really important for the game, when I pick this card, I want to pick it up facing the correct direction. And so what I'm going to do on the back of this card, so I know right here, oops, sorry, they're upside down for you. There we go. So I know right here that I need to turn it over this way for it to be right side up. So I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to make a heart on the back, like this, okay? And so now I know when I pick it up, if I pick it up with the heart facing up, I know that when I pick it up like this, and I can't see through it, that it's right side up, okay? For everybody else to look at. It's really important to do that. Like this, a dotted half note, it doesn't matter which direction it actually goes, because notes can have their stems down, or notes can have their stems up. But it's really important for a half rest or a whole rest, because otherwise it actually changes the symbol. This says this way up. So we know this is a whole rest, and I need it to stay that way. So I'm gonna flip it like this, knowing it's the correct direction. I'm gonna draw a heart. So then if these got all jumbled up and I turn them upside down and I don't know which way they go, now I know that this is the correct direction for when I pick it up, okay? Dotted half note, you could actually choose, for some of the cards for my students, I actually choose to make the stem go down so they get used to looking at them that way too. Okay, so here we have 3 cards. And then, so you should go ahead and you should do this with all of your cards. You can print them off or you can make your own. And as soon as you get all of your cards cut apart, and if they need to have an extra piece of paper glued to them, and then draw your heart or another symbol that has a right side up on it, okay? You don't want to draw, like you wouldn't want to draw a square, because a square doesn't have a correct side up or down. So it needs to be something that you know has a correct side up or down. Once you have all your cards ready to play, then come on back and I will show you how to play our game. Boys and girls, I thought you might enjoy a quick peek at my puppy and my kitty who are making all that noise. This is my kitty, Allie. She is 14 years old, and this is Millie. She's a puppy. She's 7 months old. And now, let's play some Notes and Rests Headbands. Millie. Millie, Millie, Millie. Say hi. I have a basket right here with all of my cards in it. And when I go to pick one, I'm just going to grab one like this. And I know it's right side up. Oops, one flipped over. And now I'm going to take it without looking, and I'm just going to put it up here. Okay? So it's right there. And now I'm going to ask yes/no questions to figure out what I am. Okay? So, and I'm going to use some different ones to kind of give you some ideas. So, do I make sound?
No.
Okay, that tells me I'm a rest. Do I look like lightning?
No.
That tells me I'm not a quarter rest. Do I look like a right side up hat?
Yes. No. Yes.
Yes. That tells me I'm a half rest. I could guess half rest, but I'm going to just double check. Do I last for 2 beats?
Yes.
Am I a half rest?
Yes.
Half rest. All right, I'm going to do another one. Now, if you were playing this game with somebody else, now they could pick a card and you could answer the questions. But I'm going to do some more to give you some more examples of good yes/no questions. All right, let's see. Am I a rest?
Yeah. No.
Do I have a stem?
No.
Do I last for 4 beats?
Yes.
Am I a whole note?
Yes.
Whole note. I'm going to do another one. Do I make sound?
Yes.
Do I have a stem?
Yes.
Is my note head filled in?
Yes.
Do I have a flag?
No.
Do I last for 1 beat?
Yes.
Am I a quarter note?
Yes.
With my students, I always make a rule where you have to ask 3 yes/no questions before you can actually guess the name of a note or a rest. So for example, and a couple of them are pretty easy. So if I had a whole note and I said, am I a note?
Yes.
Do I have a stem?
No.
So right away, I've only asked 2 questions and I know what the answer is, but I still do, I have to think of something else before I can guess it. So that's when I think I asked before, I said, do I last 4 beats? So I always want you to ask at least 3 yes/no questions before you guess the name of your note or rest. Okay, I'll do one more and then you'll be on your way to be able to play by yourself. All right. Am I a rest?
No.
Do I have a stem?
Yes.
That's 2 questions. Do I have a dot?
Yes.
Do I last for 3 beats?
Yes.
Am I a dotted half note?
Yes.
Yes! Awesome! All right, this is one of my favorite games and one of my students' favorite games to play. So I hope that you enjoy playing Notes and Rest Headbands.